Good morning and welcome to our Sky Vision Lounge, where we do live trade analysis of the markets. We do for the London session and the New York session 3 days a week. So this is the London session. We want to look at what the markets are doing and what potential setups we have. All right, so let's get into it. So today I thought we'd just switch it up a little bit, just to further our knowledge on how our knowledge and our skill on how we're trading. I have a graph here of so this is a high of how price moves. Okay, so it starts from this is for a down move, a down move. We remember yesterday we said price will only move in one of three ways. It's either it's moving up, or it's moving down, or it's moving sideways. So yesterday we looked at price moving up. So today we want to switch it up a bit. Let's see, how does price move downwards when it's moving downwards, and then also how does it change direction? Okay, so we start from a high, it moves to a lower low. So it starts from somewhere here and then moves to a lower low down there. Yeah. Then after a little while, it pulls back to what we call a lower high. Why is it a lower high? It's a lower high because it's lower than this high here. Yeah. So we call this a lower high. And the interesting thing is that we won't know where this lower high is going to form. For all we know, it can come all the way just to the tip of this one here. It won't go above it and then come back down. Yeah, so we never know where this lower high will be, but we know it to be somewhere between this lower low and this lower high. And that's why many of the times when when we're talking here or when we're teaching, we say that what is your last valid range, right? So this will be your range, right? Between this lower low and this high here. So that if price pulls back, this is what you're working with, this range here. Yeah? Okay. So now price then pulls back and then breaks this low here. Once it breaks this low here, we say it's a break of structure. Okay. Now it then moves again, repeats the same pattern, gives you a lower low, and then at some point it gives you a lower high. And then it repeats that pattern over and over and over again. Okay, now so let's make a little switch. Okay. So now we have said that when market moves to a lower low, what do we expect? We expect a pullback. And we expect that that pullback will not break above that last high. Yeah. So if that is agreed, and you can test it out for yourself, you will see, right? Now, and then price repeats that pattern. So from this lower high here to this lower low that we have here, let me mark it for us. So a lower low there. Yeah. At what point would we say that this price has changed? We will say it has changed when price then pulls all the way back and breaks above this high. Then price has changed direction. Okay. Okay, so let's look at it. So I have this structure here. So price pulls in and then breaks this high to give you a higher high. So breaks this lower high to then give you that break of structure to the top side, and then pulls back and then repeats the same pattern in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's just look at what price did yesterday on this. This is on gold. Okay, so what did price do? You can see what price did here. Started from here. This is Asia session, moved down, pulled up, eventually breaks this structure, yeah, to this low here. So we have just what we like to say, that we have a lower low here, and we have a lower high here. Then we have another lower low here. And then we're expecting, so when you're down here, where is your range? Your range will be between these lows here and the last lower high. Yeah. Now, I now fine tune it a little bit. I have what I call, what is the last opposite candle that caused that price to move down. So when you look at that, this is where you have your last opposite candle that caused that move down. Yeah. So that if price breaks this high here, then it has changed direction. Okay. So, but even if we just use this high here, yeah, let me put a line there. So this one will be for our course students. Yeah, our course students know what this last opposite candle thing is. Okay, but even if we use that same structure that we used yesterday, so you see price pulled back from here, it pulls back, and then it started going down. But what happened? Price did not come back down to this level. Instead, what did it do? It broke this smaller high. There's a name we also call it in our inner circle. We call it a market structure shift. Yeah. Okay. And I'm sure our members were able to catch that. Now, so look at what price did eventually. It broke this high here. So supposing you were here during London session, just as we are in the London session now, you are now in a London session here. You're expecting a pullback for you to sell. Okay. So I'm assuming you sold here when you saw this bearish candle, yeah, and then you got stopped out, okay? Now, no problems. You then say to yourself, okay, let me wait for the next break. You wait for that break of structure here, and then price pulls back. Although this time around, it doesn't go that far, yeah, but it still gives you some pips, yeah, okay? And then you see eventually it just goes sideways, okay? But what I'm really after is that you should know the structure. Okay. If, for instance, this is on the 30 minutes chart. For instance, let me go to the 5 minutes time frame. Okay. Just to show us how these things work. Let's go here. So you can see smaller structures. Yeah. So look at what price did here. So I'll just map it out. So from here, so it's been coming down. It comes down, pulls back, comes back down. Eventually, it breaks this level here, okay? Pulls back, goes up again, pulls back, does not break the lower high, or sorry, the higher low. It breaks structure again to the highs, comes back down. It still does not break this lower high. It gives you a lower high here, but does not give you a lower low. Then eventually, it gives you this massive push up. Yeah? So you can see how price moves and creates the same pattern over and over and over again. Okay, so you can decide for yourself, how do I want to trade? Okay, so in our own trading inner circle, we have a couple of ways we catch these moves, okay, when they're happening. So right now, let's do our normal. I won't go through all the pairs. We'll just do a couple and just see how far we can go. So let's see, where is my, what happened here? I can't see my, okay, maybe I did, okay, I did something there. Okay, so remember our 3 questions that we like to ask. What did price do overnight? Where is price now? And what must I see price do? Okay, so let's map it out here. So just this overnight for today, it starts from there, it pushes up, gives you a nice break of structure there. It pulls back. It does not come back down to break the lows there. Instead, it's going towards the top here. Yeah. So somebody will say, okay, where is price now? Price is right here. So what do I expect price to do? So in this particular case here, price has broken structure, but it's not holding. It's already broken this lower high here, this last lower high. So in my own estimation, this is just ranging. So what will I do? I'll wait for price to either break above so that I can trade that way, or let it come back down and break below so I can trade to the lows that way. Okay, let's look at the next pair. This is pound JPY. What did price do overnight? So it started from somewhere there, pushes down, pushes up. A small break of structure there. The same thing seems to be happening here. It's not holding. That break of structure there is not holding. Now it's broken structure to the top side. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do now? We'll wait for price. We want to see if this lower high here, if this is going to hold. So we'll wait for this pullback, where if this candle closes, wait for a potential pullback and see if it will continue going up. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, a similar type of thing here. It pushes down, pushes up, breaks structure, it pulls back, comes back in. It does not break this low as you would expect in the pattern. Rather, it's going to these highs here. Yeah, so let it break these highs. In fact, let it even break it properly. And then pull back, and then we'll go with it. Yeah, so I want it to break this high properly. Break and close above, then on the pullback, we'll go on it. Let me look at one more, and then we'll call it a day. So this one is done something similar. It pulls up, pulls back down, gives you a nice break of structure right there. Yeah, pulls up, pulls back down. So if we're trading the Asia session, you may have seen a setup somewhere there. Yeah, and then now it's pulling back to these lows. So where would we say this bullish move is validated? Is when it breaks these lows here. So if it breaks these lows and goes further down, then we'll see if it will then turn this way. Yeah, and go down. All right, beautiful. Do we have any questions? Let me check the chat if there's any question in the chat. Okay, no questions there. Beautiful. Oh, wonderful. So in our trading, just keep following the pattern. And like we always say, follow your process. Have a defined process and just follow that process. Eventually, you will see the markets give you those wins that you're looking for. If I just squeeze this one in a bit, because I know somebody will be asking, what happened that, okay, in this case here, price didn't really move very nicely. But look at this here. This was even last week. See how price moved very nicely, a downtrend, and it just went very nicely. Yeah. So it does give you the opportunity. Yeah, you can see that. And even when it was moving up as well, I'm sure, okay, where was that? I think gold was very bullish sometime. Okay, look at that. You can see, you can trace it out. So just without your knowledge of lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs, higher lows, just trace it out and you will see on any time frame, it repeats the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll see at the New York session if you're able to join us that time, 2 p.m. West African time. Thank you.